To cover the sides of a cake with royal icing, you need to cover it first with almond paste so that it gives a nice smooth surface for your cake. Then make sure your royal icing is kept in an airtight container and give it a beat before you start using it, just to get rid of all the excess air bubbles, because you need the cake to be nice and smooth. And then I would advise you to use a turntable, because it's really difficult to do it without a turntable. So spread the icing thickly around the sides with a small palette knife or a round bladed knife, paddling the icing backwards and forwards to again make sure that you're getting rid of any excess air bubbles. And of course you do need to secure the cake with a bit of icing onto your cake board before you've marzipanned it, so that it doesn't move when you're icing it. So make sure you take the knife backwards and forwards, that way you can see if there's any big air bubbles or any lumps in your icing which you'll need to remove. So if you get one little lump in the icing, you'll drag it all the way around the cake and spoil the effect. To ice the cake, you need a flat-sided scraper, and what you're going to do is you're going to start right around the other side, so you need one hand there and you're sweeping it all the way around in one movement. So you get a nice smooth coat. So if you stop and start, you'll end up with ridges in the icing. So put your smoother flat against the cake, even pressure, and gradually and smoothly swing the cake around until you get a nice smooth coat. Once you're happy with the sides, then use a small palette knife and bring the icing in towards the cake to scrape off that clean edge. Just carefully clean off the excess icing from your cake board. Then leave that to dry, as I say, at least overnight before you do the top. Once the sides of your royal icing is dry, then you can do the top. So I keep my royal icing in a sealed container and always beat it to get out all the air bubbles before you start applying it to your cake. And then spread it over the cake reasonably thickly to start with. Nice and even. And then you need a ruler, not too flexible. If you don't want it too bent, a little bit of bend's fine. Professional cake decorators would probably use a stainless steel ruler. And then you drag it, keep it upright, and you just drag it across the cake. So you get a nice smooth top. You probably have to do this 2 or 3 times until you're happy with the result. And if you want to do another layer, you need to leave it at least 24 hours to dry off, and then just neaten off that edge up against the dry cake, so you get a nice even finish. Then all you have to do is use your royal icing to pipe the decoration around the edge just to cover up that rough edge.